right, we're gonna wait for the lovely heat to turn off, and then we're gonna get started on this episode. We're here, we're ready to film. Setup is something I'm still getting used to. I left my glasses on my desk and I just don't feel like getting them, so I do it without glasses today. Yay! Do a little picture. I don't know why I smiled because you can't see me smiling. Ready to go? Hello everybody, welcome to the Do the Dang Thing podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Fleeman, owner of Rain Company, and today we're gonna be talking about ways that you can make sure you set your month up for success. It is Monday, February 6th. What the heck? It's already February 6th. I feel like time is just literally flying by. This is still a weird angle. Sorry, setup. Still trying to figure it out. I do have the plain backdrop, but it's like all wackadoodle. I don't know, we're still figuring it out, but I wanted to get this podcast episode recorded and ready for this week. That way I can edit it, because this is like the only time this week that I have to sit down and record it. I hope everybody's day, month, week is going fan-frickin-tabulous. I am waiting for a UPS guy to come because I have new Rain Originals arriving today, and oh my gosh, they are the cutest things ever. So excited. Probably my favorite design yet. Two different colorways. There's just, it's so cute. I can't wait. If you're a coffee lover, you will love it even more. So I'm very excited about that. They're arriving today, so I had to get here before him, and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna knock out the podcast episode. We're gonna go take pictures today for everything. I have Rain's birthday party is on Saturday. Crazy 2-year little birthday party, so I have to finalize some details for that and such. It's been like 50 degrees here in Nebraska, and holy cow, it's making me like want spring and summer right now. Right now. Please and thank you. Today was supposed to be nicer than it was yesterday, but yesterday I had the air conditioning on in my car. It's a little cloudy today, so we'll see how the weather goes, but anyway, yeah. I've been updating you guys about like my morning routine. I talked about how I wanted to get more consistent with one, and I have found something that I really truly enjoy, so I thought I would share it with you guys. It's Tony Robbins priming. It's on YouTube. It's like the first one when you type in Tony Robbins priming. It's the first one that pops up. It's 15 minutes long. I've been doing it every day for the past few weeks, I'd say. My days go so much better when I do it. I skipped 2 days last week just out of laziness, like going back to old habits. Hated it. Literally hated it. And my days were so off. So off. I was like, are you joking? And I knew, I was like texting Sophie, who you guys know from the other episode, but I was texting her, I was like, I am just in such a like weird mood today, bad mood. I don't know what it is. And I was like, I seriously think it's because I didn't meditate. She's like, well, just meditate now. But it's weird. Like I can like pause and like do like quick little meditations, but that meditation requires 15 minutes of undivided attention. So it's a little hard for me to like just drop everything I'm doing at the shop and meditate, you know? So yeah. Anyway, enough babbling about that. Try it out. I've been waking up at like 7. I kind of let myself be a little lazy for the first few minutes. I don't go on my phone though. I've been trying so hard to do like an hour to 2 hours of no phone every single morning. Helps so much. So much. I either grab my book, I just like lay there and soak in the moment. Because something I told you guys, I want to live more in the present. And the way to do that is to really just like, if you're gonna do something, do it fully. Like if you decide you're gonna go take a nap, go take a nap. Don't think about, oh, well, if I take a nap, I'm not gonna, no, you could already be sleeping in your nap, whatever. So if you're gonna do something, whether that's resting, whether that's working, whatever, just do it. Just do it fully, stop overthinking it. And I found like telling myself that in the moments of me overthinking whatever it is I'm gonna do has helped a lot. So just my little morning update for you guys. Ways to start your month off for success. I'm a big goal person, as we all know, and the beginning of the months are my favorite. Now I have gotten out of this like, oh, I have to wait till the beginning of the month to start something, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because you don't. Just start. If you have an idea, don't wait for a certain date to start it. Just start. Like stop waiting for this, what society has created, or not society, but well, kind of like what everybody has said, oh, this is like the new start of the quarter, the new year, the new, like I've talked about this with you guys before. I hate New Year's resolutions, all that kind of stuff. I love goals and having those, but you don't need to wait for a certain day to start those. You can start them whenever you want. So yes, we're gonna talk about that. Number 1, map out your goals for the next 3 months. So what I do at the beginning of the month, I guess-ish. I've just gotten the routine of doing that, but I don't stick to it. If like halfway through the month, I'm like, I don't know if I really want this anymore, or my ideas and goals have a little shifted, I'll shift my vision board. I'll shift whatever it is, but seriously, make a vision board at least every month, minimum, I'd say. About your goals for the next 3 months. Make a vision board at least once a month. I typically will make them every month, but you can set them for like a quarter is every 3 months, basically. And I know a lot of people like in the business world will wait for the next quarter to begin stuff or whatever, which is great, and it works for a lot of like financial stuff. But when it comes to like your visions and your goals and stuff, stop waiting for that like dedicated normalized time to begin it. Just start it whenever. So when I make my vision board, I usually map it out for the next 3 months, but then I break it down within each month, because you have to, like we've talked about in the past, if you're gonna have a big goal, you have to have steps to get to that big goal. Otherwise, that big goal is gonna always seem so far out of reach. So when you're creating this like overall 3-month plan and what you want your life to look like and what you want your business goals or personal goals or whatever your goals are, but make sure you have them in categories because it's easier to like think about them. So have your personal goals, have your work goals, your career goals, have your family goals, your friend goals, your relationship goals, all of that. Like have them separate, but on one big vision board. And then you can kind of break it down. So what do you want to see in 3 months? Okay, now every single month when you're sitting down and creating your vision board, well, what are some good steps that are gonna get you to that goal that you can realistically do in the first month, and then start doing those. That way it's easier to kind of break it down because it's just a bunch of like little itty bitty goals, but eventually it'll hit you, like it'll get to your big goal. So every single month do that. And then once you get to month 2, kind of look back on month 1, what you did good, what you want to work on, what other things you need to start doing to get to your 3-month goal. And then on the 3rd month, okay, this is the finish line, like what do I need to do it? And a good thing for those is setting like realistic boundaries. Obviously your big goals and your big dreams, make them big, make them wild, but when you're setting your smaller goals, make them realistic up to it. If you're jumping to the outcome, it's not going to stick with anything, whether that's a habit you want to start doing. Like for example, if you want to start waking up at 7 in the morning and right now you wake up at 10 in the morning. Well, 3 hours of lost sleep that your body is typically used to is going to be a big change, and you're not going to necessarily be able to do that. So a good thing would be, okay, well this month I'm going to start waking up at 9, and then the next month I'm going to wake up at 8, and the next month, voila, I'll be waking up at 7, and you just gradually kind of like lean yourself into it. You're setting yourself up for success, because if you start waking up at 7 in the morning every single morning, it's not going to stick. You might be able to do it for the first week or even 2 weeks, but eventually you're going to be wanting those 3 hours of sleep back that you used to get all the time, and you're kind of going to go back to your old ways. So just something to think about when it comes to that. Yeah, don't wait for a quarter, don't wait for a calendar date to tell you when to begin. Just start it. Number 2, so when you have your broken down monthly goals, next you're gonna take them and break them down weekly. So what I do is I have like my daily planner notepad that's in the shop. This is just, I literally use it. This isn't me like, go get this, it's in my shop. No, I literally use it every single day. I've gone through 2 pads, almost on my 3rd one now. But they're amazing. I love them. They break it down hour by hour. There's a big like to-do section, but it also reminds me to do gratitude, self-care, water, all of that kind of stuff. So I have that, but then I also have like a normal just planner. It's like a thinner, it's kind of like the size of my notebook if you're watching video form. It's just thinner so it fits in my purse and stuff. I'm not a huge fan, like I keep trying the digital planning. I just cannot get into the routine of it. I just like seeing it like in front of me on a piece of paper that I can cross off and stuff. But anywho, breaking them down weekly. So at the beginning of each month, like I said, I kind of set my goals for that month. Every week then I kind of break down like the big top 5 things that I want to accomplish this week that are bigger things, and then I break them down, and if they're like really big things that I know I can't get all done in one day, I'll break it down and be like, okay, you're gonna spend an hour or 2 on this day, and you're gonna kind of break it down into multiple days throughout the week, if that makes sense. You have your big overall goals, you need to start breaking them down, and then you can break them down day by day. You're taking that big goal, chunking them down to 3 months or to month by month, and then you're going to do it week by week, and then you're going to do it day by day. So figuring out what you can do. I personally do this every Sunday night. I sit down, I map out what I need to get done for the week to stay on track for my goals, and then I kind of like realistically knowing how my weeks go, I'll map out. Like Mondays are usually really big work day. We have a lot going on. I'm recording the podcast, doing a lot of editing, we're doing a photo shoot, doing all this stuff because this is the day I don't have the shop open. I can't do a photo shoot any other time of the week outside and stuff because it gets dark by 6 p.m. and that's when I close, and I could do it in the morning, but it's just, mornings are always a rush, and I know that, and it's realistic, not setting unrealistic goals like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at 7 in the morning, we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna do some photos, when I know that's realistically not gonna happen. I'm gonna look tired in the morning, I'm not gonna be in the mood to go take pictures because I want to do my self-care. I already have like that kind of going for me. So make sure when you're doing them, you kind of take into account of what your typical week looks like, and if there's areas in that you want to change, we'll kind of swap it out with something equivalent to it that's maybe not healthier, but like the way that you want to be kind of thing, like the better you version of that thing. So if you do sleep in, well, instead when you wake up early, don't fill that time with your phone, fill it with reading, maybe making breakfast, maybe working out, maybe meditating, whatever, so you have something planned to do in that time frame that you would otherwise be doing something maybe that you don't like to do as much. Like I've talked about in the past, I hate scrolling on my phone. Sometimes I still get sucked into doing it, but by the time, like even when I'm doing it, I'm like, I know this, I'm gonna regret this, and I hate this in the moment, but I don't know what it is. I can't get off of it. Like I just simply cannot X out of it. And then once I get out of it, I'm like, it's like a trance broke almost. Like, oh, this is different, and this is what I like. So finding the things that you like, finding them in a healthy, balancing way will help you achieve your goals much, much healthier and much better, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of going on a rampage right now. Number 3, creating a healthy routine that involves your goals. So when you see these overall goals and you have them broken down into your monthly, weekly, and daily, start taking in if there's something new that you want to start doing, like meditation, for example. Well, like we were just talking about, swap something out. So if you scroll on your phone for an hour in the morning, well, even 15 minutes of meditation is going to make you feel a lot better than scrolling on your phone for an hour. So swap them out. Go make a healthy breakfast, do whatever. It's kind of, we just kind of covered that, but that is something. Swap out your things, figure out what makes you truly, truly feel good and how you can incorporate that into your morning and into your routine. Not just your morning and like your nighttime routine. Do you really want to be, again, scrolling, or would you rather have like a little self-care night and reading your book and kind of like relaxing, meditating, like do something that's going to help you sleep better, because obviously screen time does not help you sleep better. It's going to set you up best for your goals. Like with the person with those overall 3-month goals, would they be scrolling on their phone for an hour? Would they be doing things that don't make them productive, or would they be reading instead of scrolling? I don't know. I always use the phone as an example. There's obviously other things that can be used as an example, but just kind of think about it that way. Number 4, create a work day, create a rest day. So every single week, like I said, Mondays are my heavy work days, or where I get a lot of editing, filming, new arrival stuff. That's where I get a lot of that kind of stuff done, because I know realistically throughout my week, I can't fully do that because I get interrupted or just like whatever the case is. And that's totally okay. Obviously, that's just how it goes. And I've learned that. That's why I started taking these Mondays with being closed and everything, because I needed to get this stuff done and I just needed like my complete focus on it. So during the week, I can obviously still do new arrivals. I can unbox, I can steam, I can package, I can do videos, I can do that kind of stuff when the store's open and all that kind of stuff, versus filming this podcast. Well, all my racks are pushed to the corner. I can't have people coming in when I'm blocking a lot of stuff here now. So this is something that I do during the day, vlogging if I'm going out and about. It's a lot more interesting being out and about, showing that kind of behind the scenes of the business than me doing a whole vlog in the store. I still do those videos, but it's still like, it's different to mix it up. So I kind of like look at my week again and plan it out accordingly. Also need to create a rest day, especially if you are somebody who's doing it all by themselves. Personally, I'm the only one who runs the business. I'm the one who does the podcast. I do all the socials. I do all of this stuff, and I love doing it. I gave myself all these things to do because it's something that I truly love doing. I love spreading the message. I love talking to you guys. I love filling my day with things that make me excited for the day and doing it. And so I love doing it, but that doesn't mean I can't burn out. Just because I love what I do, I still can burn out. And I've gone through those periods. When I was in school, I especially would burn out a lot quicker. I would find my creativity would be in a rut. Or I just didn't feel like doing things that I normally would feel like doing because I was push, and never allowing myself to take an actual physical break. And so what I've started to do is Sundays are typically like I'll film and stuff and like I'll go on social media, but I don't post as much, or if I do post, it's something that I already had planned, and I just truly just try to rest and take it, whether I'm hanging out with family or friends or whatever. I just relax. I try to avoid work on that day just because I found when I do that, I am ready to go for the week. Like yesterday, I went on a date with my sister all day. We went to Village Inn, got some food, we went shopping. We had a lot of fun and it was great. And then the night I kind of just relaxed. I did my nails, I watched a movie, I did my meditation, I did all this kind of stuff that I know makes me feel good, and I'm gonna have a great start to the week. And then I went to bed early because I was like, I don't really want to be scrolling. I just want to go to bed. So I went to bed and woke up refreshed, meditated again, did all that kind of stuff, filled my morning with good things, and I'm ready to go for the week. I'm so excited for this week. But if I was working all day yesterday, I feel like I wouldn't have gotten there. And obviously there are some days where like I'll have events and stuff for the shop. Like this coming weekend, I have an event on Saturday, and then Sunday we have an event too. And then when that type of thing happens, Mondays I'll typically do a partial work day. So I probably won't be I'll record a podcast episode, but I won't be running around. I won't be at the shop as long. I'll probably just go kind of relax at home, maybe edit a little bit, but I just kind of take like a half work day on those kinds of days when I have busyness, because I know I still need to allow myself to have that kind of rest. So it is important to have a dedicated work day, but also to have a dedicated rest day. Otherwise, you're gonna run into burnout pretty dang quick. Number 5, and this one is one of my favorites. Journal, whether that is like paper journaling, writing it every single day, doing videos, whatever, so you can mark your progress. One of my absolute favorite things is looking back like a year ago today, like where I was a year ago, how much I have grown since then, how much like the business has grown since then. And a lot of it for me personally, because I do a lot of daily lives and videos and pictures. I'm a picture person. I love taking pictures just throughout my day and stuff. And journaling, like I like to journal, and I'll still journal sometimes. Most of the time I'll do these like Future Me. It's a website. You can like write a letter to your future self. And so I'll typically do those a lot of the time because I'm way faster at typing than I am at writing. I just kind of brain dump, send it to Future Me for a year. You can schedule a date too. Whatever you want to do, just send it away. And I found looking back on them, it motivates me a lot more. Like if, for example, I mean, I've had the business for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in 6 days. Holy cow. 2 years since I started the business. And the first year was kind of like slower paced, I guess. The first half of the year, I guess, the first 6 months. But then I got a storefront. I've been at the storefront since June. Best thing ever. I love what I do. I feel so motivated in what I'm doing. I started the podcast. That's been growing. Like, it's just looking back at it all though. Like when I started the podcast, believe it or not, I was just sitting in my back room one day listening to a podcast, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to start one of these. And then I was just throwing out names to myself, like saying all these podcasts. And then I was like pretending I was recording a podcast episode. It's like, I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And here we are. And I love it. You guys love it. Or seem to love it from what I've gathered. And it's just something that I'm like a big talker. And so having this like platform that's literally dedicated to me talking is just like a dream come true. Yeah. Track your progress, whether it's video form, sending yourself a letter, future letter, or whether that's actually journaling and getting a book and journaling. Whatever it is, have something so you can look back on. Because also, like, wouldn't it be so cool to look back on 5-10 years from now and be like, oh my gosh, that's where I came from. Or to show people who are like, I don't know though, like look at me then and look at me now, honey buns, you can do it too, kind of thing. Or for me, a lot of it is like, I want to show my future kids this, to show them that you can truly do anything if you just put your mind to it and work for it. Just go for it, kind of thing. Number 6, we've kind of covered it, I guess. I always do this. I always make these like lists, but then I always cover them in between other topics. But taking the small steps. Like I've mentioned multiple times in this episode, it is so easy to look at that big goal and just jump to that big goal and whatever, but you have to take the small steps to get to that big goal. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And we've talked about that in the past with the episode with the book Atomic Habits, and how a lot of people will jump to the outcome, but they don't work on the inner work to get to the outcome. My phone keeps going off. I am sorry. 11:11, make a wish. But a lot of people will just jump to the outcome and not work on the inner identity work of themselves, and that's why it doesn't stick. I've talked about in the New Year's resolution one, that's why a lot of people who start going to the gym for New Year's resolutions, it doesn't stick, because you're just jumping to the outcome. You think that you can go from not going to the gym at all to start going to the gym 7 days a week for an hour or two a day and doing these intense workouts. Like, you have to gradually get yourself into the routine of doing it for it to really stick. That's just what I've seen from myself. So take the small steps to the big goals. Promise you get there a lot faster, be a lot healthier for you mentally. You'll just enjoy it more because you won't be so caught up on the, oh, it's so far away. Like, no, it's not. Just break it down, take the little steps, and you'll get there. Number 7, practicing meditation or some sort of thing to get you centered. It is so important to have. Like I've talked about, like with the meditation, I tend to have my morning one, the priming one that I've been doing lately, and I really, really do enjoy that one. But then I also have these little just quick breathing exercises that I do throughout my day if I become overwhelmed or if I just need to like find my center again. If I find myself like not being able to work or getting distracted or whatever, I just do these quick, they're like 5 minutes of me just like breathing, thinking, whatever the case is, and it helps me center again and start my day or get my day back rolling on the way that I want it to go. I found 2 o'clock is where I really, really tend to just hit the bricks and die down. And so it's then where I kind of push through and I'll do these like little meditations and I'll keep going. And if I don't look at the clock, like I usually get tired, but for some reason, if I see this too, and then once I hit it, like I start to slow down. But if I keep pushing through it and don't look at the clock and then it's 3 o'clock, I'm like, oh, look at me going, ruin the day. I'm going through it. I got through the 2 o'clock thing. I can get through the rest of the day with all this motivation. Long story short, find something that you can center yourself, you can find your grounding again, and it'll help you just really stay on the track that you're trying to get on through your day, because I feel like we all have those distractions sometimes. So. And number 8, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but create a vision board. Easier to hit your goals if you can visualize them and you can see them. So like I said, I do my 3-month one and then I create like a monthly one. So I usually have my big 3-month one as my phone lock screen, which you can't really see right from here, but I have my big 6-month one on my lock screen, and then if I have my month-to-month one, I'll usually put that one on my desktop computer, and then my year one is on the back of my bedroom door. Those are just pictures I printed out and stuff, and that's like a really big one, so I put it on my bedroom door. And then I have like my business ones here on like a little cork board in my back room. Just create these little vision boards. It's so much easier if you can see them every single day and remind yourself, this is where I'm going, this is where I am headed, and positive. And you're telling yourself like, that is future me. I'm on my way to this. And seeing it every day will just help you get there. So quick little recap. Hopefully my camera won't die. Just start whenever. Don't wait for a quarter. Don't wait for a time to start. Just start whenever you feel like starting. Don't need to wait for a date on the calendar to begin. Number 2, breaking down the monthly to the weekly to then the daily. Number 3, create a healthy routine centered around your routine or centered around your goals. Number 4, create a work day and a rest day. Number 5, journal, document the process. I promise it's something you won't regret whatsoever. Number 6, take the small steps to the big goals. It's a lot easier to get there. Number 7, practice meditation or some sort of centering little process for yourself. And number 8, visualize your goals. Create a vision board, do whatever it is you need to do so that you're reminding yourself on a daily basis where you're headed. Yes, that is all I have for this episode today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you gained something from this, and I can't wait to see you guys crush your goals. It's happening, I promise. You're on your way there. One of my favorite quotes lately, and he says this in the priming thing, is, what if life was happening for you and not to you? And the more I take that throughout my day and the more I say it throughout my day, it's just a lot easier to go about my day because life is always happening for you. It's not happening to you. If something bad happens, well, it's happening for you. It's happening for a reason. It's not happening to you. So just keep that in mind when you're going throughout your day. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, again, follow on whatever platform you're listening to. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review. I'm trying to grow the reviews. There's a few of you guys who have reviewed us and I love it. Feel free to leave a review. Message me if you have any other topics for the podcast that you want me to talk about on Instagram. And I think that is it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your month. I can't wait again to see you crush those goals of yours. And this is your reminder to just do the dang thing. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.